The Difference Ministries and Talk Show. I'm Casey Smith.
And I am Jonah Glenn. And if you cannot tell, we're together this week. And so, bringing you Genesis Part 1. Since Genesis is long, so we had to split this into multiple videos. So, also fun fact, Moses wrote Genesis, so there you go.
If you are new here, we are both 15-year-olds trying to spread the gospel of Jesus because it's just what we're called to do. So, like Jonah said, this is going to be part 1 of Genesis, and we're hoping we're going to be going throughout the Bible chronologically, and we'll be doing different parts of each book throughout the entire Bible. And, some weeks will be together, some weeks it'll just be me, some weeks it'll just be Jonah, but we're trying to do this, hopefully, once every week to film this video.
Got that right. So, first up, we can't do nothing else without going through the 7 days. So, we're going to alternate the days, getting the gist of it, because everybody knows the story. So, Casey starts off with day 1.
So, in the beginning, God created heavens/earth, heavens and the earth, and light.
Day 2, God created atmosphere.
Day 3, he created land and plants.
Day 4, the sun, moon, and stars, universe basically.
Day 5, he created the birds and the sea animals.
Day 6, you got your people, Adam and Eve, and of course, animals, land animals.
And on the day 7, he rested, which is also known as the Sabbath. So going back into the 6th day with the people, the first people of the earth were Adam and Eve. And so God created Adam, he got dust, and he breathed life, and he created Adam, the first man, first human on the planet. So then they lived in this Garden of Eden, and everything was perfect. Everything was holy, nothing was sin, they didn't feel shame from God, they were naked, they didn't feel shame, everything about it. So then, one day Adam fell into a deep sleep, and God cut him open from his rib, and he created Eve, which is the first woman on the earth, and she is the mother of all people. So, like I said, they live in this Garden of Eden, and it was holy, and God told them to eat from one tree, which was the tree of life. He told them, do not eat from this tree, or you will sin for me, and you will no longer be close to me. So they're like, okay, well, that seems pretty simple enough. And then one day, the serpent, which is Satan, came in disguised as a snake, trying to tempt them and deceive them of eating into this tree. So Eve finally fell in and ate fruit off this tree, and then she gave some to Adam, and Adam also fell into the sin. And so after this happened, God was like, well, why did you fall into temptation when I told you not to? And they were like, they couldn't explain it. They just fell, and they just felt unholy. So then after that, they were clothed, and God sent them away from the Garden of Eden, and no human was perfect from then on out.
Got that right. So Eve's gonna put this in a modern version. Have the first man, the first lady, and they had the first children. And moving on to their kids. Oh, you know this. Cain and Abel. So Cain, I get the notes here I wrote. Cain and Abel, of course, children of Adam and Eve. Abel tended flock, and Cain was also the oldest. Yes. And so they brought an offering to the Lord, but the Lord preferred Abel's offering more. So then Cain became jealous and had anger in his heart. God realized that, and he even asked him, why are you angry? So after that, Cain took Abel into the field, and Cain actually killed Abel because of jealousy. After that, God told him to go, and so they went, and then everything else starts from that. Now I'm going to Noah. 2, 1. So we talked about God's creation, we talked about Adam and Eve, and we talked about Cain and Abel. We're flipping over a chapter, still in Genesis though, to Noah and the flood. So I'm going to give you a quick reading of the scripture of Genesis chapter 9. And it says, Noah was a righteous man, blameless among the people of his time, and he walked faithfully with God. Noah had 3 sons, and of course, I don't know how to say his names, but Shem, Ham, and Japheth, I think that's how you say it. Now the earth was corrupt in God's sight and was full of violence. God saw how corrupt the earth had become, for all people on earth had corrupted their ways. So God said to Noah, I am going to put an end to all people, for the earth is filled with violence because of them. I am surely going to destroy both them and the earth. So basically, clear this up, is that the world was living in sin. That the world was living in sin, basically. And so it was like bad. And so God said, you know what, I'm just going to start back all the way over and flood everything. But since Noah was a really righteous man, of course, like it says, blameless among the people, he said, build an ark, gather all your family, and also grab animals of the two genders, male and female. And so that's what he did. And so for 40 days and 40 nights, when the earth was flooded, God sent out a dove, a message saying, hey, you know what, like, it's over, it's done, come on out. And so basically that's what happened. And after that, it was basically like a new creation after that. And also, one thing, a rainbow. The rainbow represents that God's promise that he would never flood the earth again. Yeah. So now, Casey's going to lead us to the city of Babel.
I had to find it first. Let's find it. I'm getting there. Sorry, guys. Okay, here we are. Tower of Babel is a pretty simple story. It's one of the most popular ones, too. It was about a bunch of people, and yes, there were a bunch of people, and they had this idea one day of saying, let's build a tower to try to get to heaven and the skies. And they were like, they tried to make it brick instead of stone, and tar for mortar to try to make it strong. And so then God saw this, and he was like, well, these people, they all spoke one language. And he was like, well, this is what happens when they all speak one language. And he was like, well, if I have to stop them, because if I don't, then they'll do it again. So pretty much he just divided the people into, and he created more than one language, so they couldn't do it again.
So basically switch up your languages.
Yes.
So that's how we have many different languages now, like Spanish, English, all that good stuff.
Yes.
So that was a quick little gist of Babel. So now we're going to get into our last video of part 1 of Genesis. Part 1. Again, part 1. And we're going on down to Abraham. Abraham.
Yep.
So we all know the father, patriarch Abraham. And so we know the story. We love the story of Abraham. God called Abraham to move from his home. Let me just figure this out.
Hold on.
Isaac. So let's get into this. So Abraham, we all know the father, patriarch, very old. So at a very old age, God told him to move from his place and go. Just go. Take his family and just go. And so then also he promised them a child, but Sarah laughed at this because Sarah was really, really, really old. So the idea of having a child at that old age was just ridiculous. It made her laugh. But then, so yeah, they still had trust, they still had obedience, they still believed that, that God would make a way for them. So then after that, it happened. And they had their first baby named Isaac. And Isaac is actually means laughter, which Sarah laughed at the idea that having a baby at an old age. So now after that, all of that, then God told him, because he was basically testing Abraham, and said, you know what, Abraham, here's what I'm going to do. For our offering, you're going to take your son up to the mountain, and he's going to be that offering. Now, of course, that would startle anybody, your only child, to do this. So he was obedient. He trusted God, and so they went up to the mountain and get all the wood, get all the things for the offering. And so while Isaac was there, about time when he was about to straight kill him, the angel of the Lord appeared and told Abraham to stop. And there was a lamb in the bushes around there. And so Abraham took the lamb instead of Isaac as the offering. So still yet, God was testing Abraham for his obedience, and it all worked out well. Yep. So, yeah. So we went through a lot, basically.
Yes.
Adam and Eve, the creations, Cain and Abel, Noah, and that was too fast for you, sorry. But we went through these things, and really you could just see that each person really shows you know, that when you get tempted, and here's what happens when you get tempted, or when you be obedient, and here's what happens when you can be obedient, or when you just really have trust in God, then things will work out as planned. So really, these people just show us nowadays that if you do this for God, then it will come. So no one's perfect.
Yep.
Yeah.
So thank you for joining our part 1 of Genesis. Hopefully we will have part 2 up soon. Please be patient with us as it takes us very long to record these videos and edit them. But we are definitely trying. So thank you for joining us and have a good day.
Wait, also, you have something to say, of course. Young, old, rich, or poor always make a difference. Oh.
Thanks for joining us.
Yes.
You kept moving the couch. I was trying to stop. You were like slowly sliding back.
What do you mean?